So today we are learning to multiply and we are building on from yesterday's work. Our success criteria is I can use column method and all will become clear. First of all, we will revise the expanded column method that we did yesterday. So if we have a calculation such as 52 times 3, that means 3 lots of 52 or 52 lots of 3, we can set it out horizontally, or using the expanded column method that we did yesterday that I'm revising now, we can set it out like this with the numbers in columns, the 3 and the 2s in the 1s, and the 5 from here in the 10s, okay? And hopefully you'll remember that you go to the 1s column first, and you multiply 3 times 2. What's the answer to that? Well done, it's 6. We make sure it goes underneath the 3 and the 2 in the 1s column. And then the next thing we do, we go to the 10s column and we work out what 3 times, we've got to be careful, it's 3 times 50. Okay. So 3 times 50, that means 3 lots of 5 tens. 3 times 5 is 15, that means 15 tens. Now, because 10 tens makes 100, the answer is 150. Let's move that board along so you can see. And we put that in the sum here, making sure the 5, which is in the tens, is underneath this 5, and the 1 goes here. Can you remember what we did next yesterday? That's right, after multiplying separately, using our partitioning skills, after multiplying the 1s and the 10s, we add the results together. So, starting with the 1, 0 add 6 is 6. Then we go to the 10s. The answer is 5 because you've got nothing to add it to. And actually in the hundreds, you've got 1 here with nothing to add it to. And I'm sure a lot of you possibly would have worked that out and wouldn't have needed to do the working out there. And so the answer to 3 lots of 52 is 156. Okay? Right, so that was what we did yesterday. I'm actually going to do the same calculation, 52 times 3, but I'm going to show you how to do it using the column method, okay? It basically involves, once you get used to it, less writing, okay? So it makes it quicker. Okay. So we still set it out the same way, 52 times 3, okay, and 2 times 3 is 6, so we can put the 6 in there, okay, and then we go to the 10s, and it's 3 lots of 5 tens. 3 times 5 is 15, 15 tens is the same as 105 tens, so 1 would go there and the 5 would go there. So that's what I mean about the column method not involving as much writing, okay? I'm going to practice another one with you so that you can get used to this method. And again, this is a method that we would use when we can't use our mental skills, okay? Let's try 32 times 4. Okay, 32 times 4. So for example, you would do 4 times 2, which equals, have a think. Yep, 8, well done, okay. And then, I might just write this at the side just to make sure that you do understand, okay. You have got 3 tens here, and you want to multiply those 3 tens by 4. Okay? Now, 3 times 4 equals 12. So that will mean that you would have 12 tens. Now, if you remember in class, 12 tens, okay, remember those 10 strips that we've got, would mean that you would have 12 of these. Okay, I'm just going to draw them very quickly. And on each one of these strips of 10, sorry, they should be the same size, you would have 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Am I going to make it 11? 12? Yes, okay. So just to double check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 tens, okay? And as I said before, 10 tens makes 100, okay? So if we put all of these, I'm going to find 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Actually, an easier way of doing that would have been to subtract 12. So that makes 100, okay? So therefore, that's why you've got 120, okay? So 12 tens is the same as saying 120, okay? Or you might want to say 100 and 2 tens. All the same answer, okay? So 4 lots of 3 tens is either 120, 12 tens, or 102 tens. So when it comes to recording it here, we write a 1 in the hundreds and a 2 in the tens, and that's your answer, okay? Now, if you've understood this, you don't need to do the bit at the side, and that is how you can work it out here, okay? Now, I'm actually going to challenge you even further. And you can either pause the video there if you're happy with that. But if you want an extra challenge, okay, I'm going to do a calculation that involves carrying, okay? Now, you've come across carrying before. Carrying is, for example, when we do an add and we have to write on the doorstep because we have more than 10 tens, for example, in a column when it comes to calculating the answer, okay? Now, don't worry if you find this calculation a bit tricky. And remember, you can watch these videos as many times as you want. The more you watch them, the clearer things will become. So I'm going to do 74 times 9, okay? And I'm going to draw the lines there. We're going to follow the same rules. So 9 times 4, well, I love the 9 times table, you know I do. So there's the cheats way of working it out. Take away 1 from 4. What's the answer? 3. What do you add to 3 to make 9? 6. So the answer to 4 times 9 is 36. And this is where our problem is. We can't write 36 in the ones. Have a think about what we might need to do, because I said that this was a carrying sum. Well, because 4 nines are 36, you put a 3 in the tens column underneath the 7, and that's what we're carrying over, and the 6 there. And you're showing that 4 nines make 36. Then we go over to here, and it's 7 in the tens column. 9 lots of 7 tens. Take 1 away from 7, it's 6. What do we add to 6 to make 9? 63. So 9 times 7 tens is 63 tens. Now that's the same as 630. Okay? Now, just to make sure that we don't forget, I'm going to write it at the side here. Okay? 9 times 70. Okay? So 9 times 7 is 63. Another way of doing it is to make the answer 10 times bigger, because 9 times 7 is 63. You could put that 0 on. So we know it's 630. Now, what we do is we need to record the 630. So we're going to put the 6 in the hundreds. And we're actually not going to put the 3 here in the tens. We're adding up as we go along, and this is why it's a quicker sum. Okay? So it's 630, but we've got 30 here from our previous calculation of the ones. So I'm just going to add it. 630, add this 30 here, makes 660. Now we've actually got no more multiplications to go, so instead of having that 6 there, I'm actually going to write it there. And the answer is 666. So the difference between the method you used yesterday, which was the expanded column method, is that you add at the end. With this method here, you add as you're going along, so it's quicker. Now, don't worry if you find this too difficult or too tricky. It's certainly something that you will be coming back to later on in your school career in P6 and P7. And as I said, you can always watch the video if you don't understand. Good luck with your calculations today. Make sure you choose an appropriate level of challenge.